Hello, guys. Welcome to Colonist Con 2021. I'm your host, Benjamin Ramos, aka Vamos Cosmos 719, aka guy who plays on Colonist IO for most of my free time, aka the guy who just twice finished 1 point short of the U.S. Nationals. Feels bad, but don't worry about that, guys, for now. But this is about Colonist Con. You guys are here to support Colonists and know about what's the future going on with Colonist IO. As a big supporter of Colonist IO for several years now, I'm very excited to be your host today. I started playing on Colonist IO a couple of years ago as an alternative to that other product. We won't talk about the other product, but over time, being part of several competitive online communities and having the Colonist team the IO team reach out to me for any proof suggestions, Colonist IO has become a great alternative for me for online Catan. Stable, works fast, and the development team actually listens to these suggestions and implements them to the product. It is really awesome to see how much the Colonist IO product has grown to be such a fleshed out product and such a great place, play alternative way to play it online Catan, and especially it includes Season Nights and Seafarers expansions too as well. I'm especially Season Nights. I'm a big fan to see. I'm very excited to implement that. One big favor I would like to ask you guys: please do not ask me for any sheep trades. I just do not want your stinking sheep at all. Please don't ask for any sheep trades. Well, I would like to ask you is to check out all the panels we have for Colonist Con. So, what is Colonist Con all about? What's Colonist Con all about? Colonist Con is a showcase of what's exciting right now with Colonist, and, and what's exciting right now for Colonist, and what developments we have in the future that we sign for you guys. We will have 3 panels today. 3 panels today. Our development team is here to show like what goes behind the scenes and gives us some exciting updates that we have in the coming months for Colonists. We will also feature a couple Discord communities where where they feature league and tournament forums for Colonist players to participate. We will also feature several YouTube and Twitch personalities. Delight is here, guys. He's gonna be the panel, as we talk about what it takes to create great Colonist. We create great Colonist content for you guys, and what improvements can be done to make Colonist grow in terms of like the streaming and YouTube aspect too. And for each panel, we'll give you guys a Q&A. So I'll show you guys the link right here. Right here. Here's the link right here. And you guys can enter any questions that you have for the Colonist team. So let's see if let's enter this QA. And let's ask, so is wheat for noobs? We'll ask this question. Is he wheat for noobs? Let's see if he asks a question. There you go. That question is for you. So type any questions you have. Any questions you have will be presented after the panel. Discussing what's part of the panel too. So, and also, we'll be doing giveaways after some of the panels too. So I think after the second panel, we'll be doing giveaways, and they're going to be expansions. So if you like Season Nights and Seafarers, but then the money to pony up, stick around after the panel to have a chance to win one of those expansions too. So that's pretty awesome for you guys too. So, so enough for me. Let's bring in the first panel today too. So, the first panel we're gonna bring up is the Colonist team. These are the guys behind the scenes that are working, coding, marketing, and making ideas to give you the best possible product for Colonist IO too. So, let's bring in the team right here. So let's right here. Guys, a sec. And here's the team. So let's bring in the team right here. Oops, sorry. So here's the Colonist team too. So please, if you mind introducing yourself one by one. Let's start with Demi.
Hey, hello. How's my sound?
It's good.
Everything all right? Cool.
Yes.
Cool. So I'm Demi, and here's a quick introduction about us and our team. So Goku and Goku's Eskaroth here. So we started Colonist 3 years ago, and now our team is consisting of 6 core members. Although like there are many other people working, like we're working together with the community and different parts. For example, Vamos, like you're hosting, helping us host this show. So Goku and Jeff, like yeah. So Goku's my other co-founder, and Jeff is our first teammate. And we have like Juan and Stan's also in the call, and we have Meron. They're also working on coding and testing and doing a lot of stuff for the colonist. Yeah.
Okay, and let's introduce Goku as well.
Yeah, hello. Hello. My nickname is Escarot. I'm the one with the Mewtwo profile picture. And I do mainly the backend part of the code. So any bugs, any game related bugs, that was on the first versions of the game. That was on me. And I'm right now working with Jeff to make the ELO system come for you. And it's gonna be great. We're very excited working on it. Jeff, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, so I'm Jeff. Like a lot of you guys, I got addicted to colonists during peak pandemic. I saw the little apply now button on the website and thought this could be pretty fun. So I hit the button and Goku and Demi let me into the code, started fixing some small bugs early on, and more recently I've been given bigger tasks of I worked on Seafarers and Cities and Knights, and now I'm currently working on ranking, matchmaking, and ELO, which is our next big feature that's planned for the site.
And let's introduce Stan as well.
Hi, I'm Stan. I joined the team quite recently. I've been working on the front end,
Unmute
so
yourself.
that's the website. I'm not muted.
No, he's fine. Yeah.
I'm so fine. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
you're
Okay.
good.
Good. So I've been working on the front end. I recently finished building the new rulebook for the site that just got released. And I fixed a lot of bugs on the website and help update the way it looks.
Okay, awesome. So this is the colonist team out here that is working behind, like I said, working behind the scenes, doing all the coding, and these are the guys that are making sure you guys have a great product too. So, Goku, I have a question for you. So you and Demi started calling this. When you guys started calling this?
It was late 2017 when we like first write the first line of code, and it wasn't even ready for production. And at early 2018, we released like a version that was like black and white, and people started playing that version that we wrote in 2 weeks.
Okay, so yeah, that was that like talk about more about the initial days besides like just the initial startup as well.
So the initial days there was no community. We were like just trying to post on Reddit and say, "Hey, we made this cool project. Hey, check it out." And there were like some core community members of Catan who were like very interested. It's like Delighted was one of them. There's some Catan tournament champions that were very interested in this project because even in the first version, it was very simple to get into the game from the link, play, invite friends. It looked very bad. It was very buggy, laggy. It had disconnects, a lot of problems, but it was very easy to get into and very easy to play. And a lot of the competitive players loved that, and they started supporting us as we added new updated the game, added new features, fixed stuff, and here we are now.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I mentioned, like it's crazy how much the growth you guys have from just this one, just offering base to now where it's a very fleshed out base game where now you also have Season Knights and Seafarers too. So it's great to see how much the product has grown too. So Jeff, you're the one that actually created the Seafarers and CK expansion. What was that process like in terms of like developing the game and trying finishing the product?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a huge learning experience. It was so much fun. Like I said, I just kind of jumped into the code base about a year ago, started fixing some bugs, and then all of a sudden Goku asked, "Hey Jeff, do you want to start working on Seafarers?" I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So one of the biggest challenges actually is no one could really predict how big Colonist was going to grow. So a lot of the early things, like the code was set up, the game was playable, you could go online and play, and then the website just started blowing up. So things needed to be fixed. Connections needed to be like the servers needed to become more stable. So then the code of the actual game became a bit neglected. So then a lot of the work that went on behind the scenes is, for example, like the code was written to only support 5 development cards. Then all of a sudden, Cities and Knights needs to add 25 new progress cards. So the code wasn't really set up to add that amount of content to the game. So a lot of the work early on was actually just restructuring a lot of the old code so the game could keep working the way people were used to it working, but then adding the ability to add this new content. So once all of that was done, then the fun part actually started of working on the new assets and adding the new code and adding the actual new content to the site. And yeah, for anyone listening in that isn't part of our Discord community, I highly encourage you guys to jump on our Discord and become playtesters, because that's actually how we release or try to release solid content. Early on, I mean, a month and a half before Cities and Nights even touched Colonist.io, we were testing it on our test servers with our playtesters pretty regularly to try to catch those bugs early on so they weren't getting launched onto the site. And for me personally, that's my favorite part is once new content is ready and playable, then people can jump on and just go nuts and find those bugs. So anyone listening in that wants to become a playtester, I encourage you to check our Discord.
Yeah, so I was part of the playtesting too, and I saw the beta version of C and K, and yeah, I did see a lot of bugs, but it was cool to see the process of what CK was before to what the finished product was, and like you guys actually like listened to like what the users like saw, like in terms of like the metros and like how the progress tracker looked like you guys like you for what I saw for the beta version to like the final product was it looked like a more really finished product too, so that was awesome too. But yeah, and I say I wonder like how much work had to get into like developing those progress cards, because I wonder, because you only get support 5, but now you have to support so many, so like how much time it took to like to develop that, I wonder, Jeff.
These are just rough estimates, but to rewrite all the code that handle even cards in general, because there's the commodities being added as well, I'd say there's probably about 2 to 3 weeks of work that just went into restructuring the entire code base to be able to handle the addition. Then once that was done, probably a week and a half to 2 weeks of adding all those progress cards. I mean, that's one of the biggest parts of Cities and Nights is just having 25 unique progress cards that each do a different thing. So that was actually a pretty big chunk of the Cities and Nights development, not to mention all the 25 new assets that had to go into the game as well.
Yeah, but I think personally, it's crazy how much work went to it. And I figured it was so much rework that you actually, that you guys actually be able to create a finished product. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to see too. So I really appreciate it. But Goku, besides Cities and Nights and Seafarers expansions, what other expansions what are things we expect from Colonists in the next couple of years?
So for every player who's isn't aware right now, you could go to the website and check out the suggestion link down below. And there we have the community members and our players voting on what feature the Colonist team should build next. And we really pay attention to that. You can check the finished features. Right now, our biggest goal is to make the ELO system, matchmaking, ELO ranking, leagues, all those stuff. And after those are finished and stable, we're going to work more on the stability of the server and the game. It's going to consume less resources. More people are going to be able to play. We're going to simplify the lobby, the rooms, like the whole user experience, the chat, the trade views. So we want to design the game better in a more modern and easier way, which this will attract more users who are put off by how Colonist looks at the moment. We're gonna work on localizations. There's a lot of people who don't speak English and who wants to play Colonist and they can't at the moment. We want to give them the opportunity to play as well. And we're gonna launch on Steam, mobile, iOS, Android, and we're gonna add more expansions as time goes by. And this is it. But there you can also check all the suggestions links. Anything that the suggestion page, anything that makes it to the top, we're definitely gonna add. Like 95%, we're gonna do it. Anything that's on the bottom, if it's easy, we're gonna try to fix it as soon as possible. And we're just gonna try to do what the community wants. And we also want new players to be able to play this game who don't have access at the moment.
That's awesome. I mean, listening to the community, that's, I feel like, an important part of developing a great product too, like listening to users, what they need. And especially me, I've talked about like having more time during turns. I thought the timers would like need to be longer, and you guys implemented very quickly. I really appreciate that. But you said some exciting things. So you said like going to mobile, the ELO system. So I think that was a big suggestion, like the ELO system. So Jeff, you've been working on the ELO system a bit. Is there any updates to that?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy to share where we are currently. So one of our big goals right now is we do realize it is kind of difficult to jump into a game with strangers on the Colonist website. You need to go through and sift through a list of games. It's fun when you're playing a private game, you can just send the link to your buddies, but it is kind of difficult to find a game you actually enjoy playing and want to play to the end with strangers. So it is our top upvoted thing to create an ELO ranking system, but it's actually so much more than that, because to get ELO, you actually need to have a matchmaking system in place so that you can match players based on skill. And then to have that, you need the subsystems where you need to think of how are players going to get ranked? What are the leaderboards going to look like? What is the system as a whole going to look like? So we're very much still in the research phase. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is create a system where people just want to continue playing Colonists. They can go on, hit a find game button, join a game within a couple minutes, and find a game they actually want to play to the end, and hopefully stay for a few games that evening. So that's our current goal right now. And we're in the process of exploring different algorithms to see what makes the most sense in terms of ranking players based on ELO, because for anyone that's aware of ELO, it was a system that was designed for a 1v1 game, specifically chess. So we can't just straight up adapt the ELO system from chess and apply it to Colonist. A bit more thought has to go into the actual system that's going to be used. And of course, an easy way would just be to do what other games do and just apply that. But I think we need a bit of a custom solution for Colonists, and we're going to listen to our community, release a beta version, see how that works, and iterate before we release something that we actually think is a final version.
Yeah, and ELO is, I feel like, is a bit harder to implement in Catan, because like in chess, like it's easy to implement ELO because like it's 2 players. In Catan, it's 4 players, and so you have to deal with different calculations. So I'm very excited to see what ELO system you guys develop, because I feel like that's a great way to match like in terms of a competitive, like who might be better than others. Oh, this guy has like this 3,000 ELO, 2,000 ELO. Oh, like this guy's tough, or yeah. So it's a great way to measure yourself up with other players. So I'm very excited about the ELO system. So I'll throw this question out for everyone in the panel too. So, if you talk about like people suggesting about ELO and that stuff, what can the community as a whole could do to really help our colonists grow? You can start with Demi or Goku, or anybody wants to jump in here.
So the first thing is creating content, just like you. You're making streaming, creating videos, creating blog posts, any sort of content is very helpful for colonists and the whole community. And there's a lot of people who still play Catan Universe and still haven't heard about Colonist. And you guys can help spread the word and say, hey dude, like don't stop playing there. There's a better alternative over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
And like Jeff mentioned, playtesters, becoming a playtester and helping out fixing the new versions, that would be very helpful because we want to release stable versions of the game, and playtesters are extremely helpful for us to achieve that. They find a lot of bugs, a lot of problems before the code even hits our production server. So a lot of like 95% of the bugs at the moment are caught by playtesters, and they are the heroes that make colonists stable today. those who played 1 or 2 years ago would know, like whenever we released a version, there was some problems, and other games still have this problem, but we don't, thanks to our play testers. And another thing is, if you have any design, coding, programming, community, any skills that would be helpful to colonists, we would love to see you apply, join the team, or refer good candidates with these skills to us.
Yeah.
Anyone want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, one more thing I can add. Feel free as a community member to browse our upvote feature page, like Koku said earlier in the call, and just go upvote the things you feel we should be implementing, because that's the huge way for us to know what we should be working on and what the community actually wants. Don't be afraid to jump on the Discord, and if you've experienced some random edge case bug, just go and post it. We check our Discord daily, and sometimes it's just a matter of 30 minutes of work, and we can fix a bug you've experienced. So just let us know when you find problems in the site.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been using that suggestion page a lot to get some suggestions, and you guys have been implementing very quickly. So you've been talking about like expand your team, looking for a job. Like, what are you guys looking for your team? What are you guys? What positions are you guys want to fill out or have a need for in your team?
Well, so we need people who can help us implement all of the features that you guys have asked us, as you can see on the feature upload, faster. So we need to build a mobile app, right? So to build a mobile app, we need someone who understands mobile development and mobile design and like the UI and all of that. So leaderboards and elo system, we're currently working on it, but any designer, any developer would help us move faster. So mostly we need designers and developers who can accelerate our speed and push all of these features that the community is asking from us much faster.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the mobile thing is like, it's exciting to be able to play mobile more in Colonists. I feel like for me personally, I use it more on the desktop and mobile. But yeah, mobile will be an exciting thing. Looking forward to. So, let's bring in Stan here for the panel. So Stan, you work mostly the front end coding part of Colonists, correct?
Yes, that is what I do. Yeah.
Yes. Is there gonna be any updates in terms of like the front end part, in terms of like UI upgrades, how the columns like looks and feels? Are there gonna be any updates in terms of that?
Yeah, so we're always looking to improve the site. And obviously, it's been going around for a while now. So there are definitely parts of the design that could do with a fresh lick of paint. So, as said earlier as well, any UI suggestions that people put on the feature upvotes, that's the kind of stuff I'd work on. So, if you need anything changed, then just post it, upvote it. I think in the future, we'd be planning to any part of the site that's now looking a bit old or a bit out of date, we'll be looking to redesign that at some point in the future. Always trying to make it easy for people to use and for people to pick up the game for the first time. And eventually, we want to get it to a point where you don't even need to know the rules of Catan, and you can come to the site and learn them. Like that's how easy it should be to start playing.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things playing Days and Nights is that you actually, when you scroll over to the barbarian part of the section, it describes very well what the barbarian part is like. Yeah, if a barbarian rolls and reaches the end, make sure you have like all these active knights so you can save your city. So that's a really cool part about the colonist UI in terms of like being helpful and giving tips in terms of like how to understand the game and how to play the game. That's really cool, and that's very exciting too. So let's move on to the question phase. Let's see what questions we have here. Just a reminder, guys, here's the link. If you want to send any questions, go to Pigeonhole Dad's website. If you got any questions for the team here, so let's go for some of these questions. So this is a question, an anonymous question. What part of the code has been hardest to maintain or causes the most issues?
That's definitely the bots. So we've manually coded them, and they were doing okay. And after every refactor or every expansion, it breaks some old code, some old bot logic changes, breaks, and it's hard to maintain that. And we've been exploring new solutions to work that could fix this problem. We wanna we wanna make the bots general to see what mechanics there are in the game and adapt and learn and play based on those. So we're definitely looking into that, but it's not the biggest priority at the moment because they've been doing okay, and most of our players like to play with other players instead of bots. And so because of that, because it's very hard to implement correctly, we've been postponing it for a while.
Yeah, so that's a different question. That's a separate question that someone has brought up. Are you be bots with like different skill levels possibly in colonists?
Yeah, we definitely discuss that whenever we get to bots, and whenever we clean that up and make it perfect, we're gonna add different skill levels. Like the top skill levels, we're not gonna be able to beat that, but there's gonna be easier, difficult, medium, hard, and it's everyone's gonna be able to pick the bots they want to play against.
Okay, that'll be really cool because I feel like the bots are like easy level for me. It's just like it's very easy, but it'll be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
it'll be very cool if you have like, different bot levels too. Maybe have a Vamos
Mhm.
bot or a Delighted bot. We'll see in the future.
Yeah.
The Va-
Mhm.
the Vamos bot would probably just laugh at you so, or store with monos. Let's see. Let's go on. Let's go on to the next question. What is the time frame for creating a mobile app? But yes, that's the question of that. What is the time frame for that?
So we can't give a definite time frame because whenever we build something, there's a lot of bugs, and then we have to spend like extra time fixing those bugs. So currently we're focused on the elo system, and then we're gonna do we're gonna upgrade the payments, and then we're gonna upgrade the adding future and blocking friends, and like adding friends and blocking people, and then we're gonna do the mute and report functions and like overhaul them and make sure the site is clean and efficient, and people aren't bothering each other. So there's a lot of stuff on our to-do list. I would say like mobile will come after that, because here's what happens in like companies that try to address multiple platforms at the same time. So we're a small team, and we're focused on the web platform at the moment. And then when we include another platform like mobile and try to like, whenever we release something, we need to release it on both platforms, but we don't have the capacity to like find the bugs here and fix it, and then find the bugs here and then fix it. And if the code isn't divided very well, it will cause more bugs here. And then we need dedicated teams for each platform. So I'm thinking like it would take like at least 1 year for us to get like get a solid base of our team, of our code base and everything, and then we can start building the mobile. So at least a year. That's what we're thinking.
Okay, that's great. That's great to hear. So apparently this has become like the top rate question, and people in chat are kind of bugging me for not asking this. So Sugma BALs has said, "Who is the cutest guy on the team?" That's a top rate question currently on the.
That's definitely Juan.
Um,
I played
Yeah, I'd
this
have to
in
agree with
League.
that. It's definitely Juan. Yeah.
It's Juan.
Yep.
Yeah, people are asking, where is Juan? Where is he?
He's
Yeah,
a bit
everyone.
shy.
He's a bit shy. Okay, so all right, that's a claim fame. That's a claim to fame. Juan, you're you're the cutest guy on the team. Oh, there he is. He decided to join. he decided
Welcome.
he decided to join in. So um so so let's see. Let's bring up this question by Julio W. So let's see this. Any plans on Collins to create like a tournament feature, like create your own tournaments in the site?
Yeah, so this would probably feed into the ELO ranked and matchmaking system. Of course, we're aware that CU has this functionality on their site, and we want to do everything in our power to make the content accessible to players. So right now, we're definitely relying on our community to organize tournaments on the site. But if it's a feature that the community wants, then it's absolutely something that we can implement in the future. And it's something we are keeping in mind in the background as we develop these new features of like how it could interface with a future tournament functionality.
Okay, that'll be really cool to be able to run your own tournament within Colonist. Like you don't need to like organize Discord. That'll be really cool. Do it there. Brian asked, do you team members working in Colonist.io, do they work full time or do they have day jobs and work this during the night?
So yeah, for me personally, I have a full-time job and I'm working evenings and weekends on Colonist. But I've recently reduced my hours at my full-time job to spend more time working on Colonist, and I will likely be doing so, continuing to do so in the future. So it is taking more and more of my time.
Everyone has a different type of setup. So Jeff has to keep his full-time job. He cannot exist because of some reasons, and others like me and Demi, we're working full-time. We have Marin working full-time, and some team members sometimes work part-time or have different ratios. So it's kind of fluid based on like the role, the expectation, and the place their people are in within their lives. So we're definitely like for any new team people who want to apply, we're definitely like flexible in how we want to work with. If you can add value with part-time or quarter time, whatever, like we're definitely okay to discuss that.
Okay. Go for if anybody else wants to chime in if they're working full time or not. So this question: where are you guys based physically in the world? Where are you guys located at the moment?
So we're all distributed in different parts of the world. Right now I'm in Singapore. It's 2:30 a.m. And then yeah, you guys can tell where you guys live.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Canada, but currently living on the East Coast US.
I
Uh,
normally live in Canada, Toronto, but right now I'm in Turkey, Çeşme.
I live in Scotland in the UK.
Oh.
And we have other team members from Argentina, Saudi Arabia. So we're trying to hit all the continents. So we're definitely looking for someone from Africa and Australia. If we don't have those yet.
But yeah, it's a very diverse group from all around. Crazy how that very diverse group comes together to create colonists. Let's see. There's a question here. What tools do you guys use to make colonists? I'm guessing in terms of like what languages you use to develop the code, I guess databases. What do you guys use for architecture? If you could share that.
So the main server is in Node.js. We're using Postgres SQL as database, and on the front end we're using Pixie.js to render. And everything front end, back end is JavaScript, which is compiled from TypeScript. We're using HTML, CSS, those kind of stuff, Vue.js. There's like 100 other libraries and frameworks we're using, but these are the main technologies we're using.
Sounds good. Let's see. One question: are you planning to add any other seafarers maps, like additional ones, like more?
Yeah, so it's no surprise the Seafarers was first launched with the four main scenarios at the beginning. And then we realized how important cities and nights was to the website. So we have not yet launched the last 4 to 5 scenarios of Seafarers, but it is included in that bundle and will be something we'll be working on in the future.
Sounds good. And there were some questions I saw in the chat too, in terms of, oh, can I apply now? Like they should apply right away, like if they want to be part of the Colonist team, correct? Sounds like yeah. Sounds like yes. sounds like yeah. Yeah. I think as Albino said, you should definitely apply now. So yeah, like I said, they're looking to expand their team. Please, if you're interested in being part of the Colonist team too, apply now. So let's see. Any more questions? Let's just get so Farmer, let's give a shout out to Farmer because she's been active in the chat. She's like, "What do I need to do to get the silver color?" She asks.
All right, so the silver color, those three colors, bronze, silver, and gold, they were for the initial players like who played like 2 years ago, who bought the pre-sale packs because we didn't have anything in the store at the moment and we needed some money to set up the whole thing and the whole project. So it was a way for us to like early on raise some money and then give out a lot of exclusive items. So it's one of the exclusive items that the early adopters got. So if you really want it, you can like post on a future upvote, and then if we see a lot of people wanting it, and then we can talk with the current owners of the item and ask them like, hey, like is it okay if this item is on sale on the store for this much price or whatever? So if the early adopters, like the early owners of the items, also want it, and then there's enough demand, then we can add it into the store. So yeah, just whatever you want, add it to the future upvote, and if it gets enough support, we'll build it. We'll do it.
There you go, Farmer. That's your answer. The early adopter. That's how you get your silver color. So let's get one more. Let's see. Let's get one more question. So this question: can you make Colonist progressive web app compatible? That's what someone asked. Can you make the Colonist progressive web app compatible? Anyway.
Yeah, we can make it. Or do you want to make it? Do you want to join and help us make it? I think that would be a better option if you know how to make progressive web apps. That would be great.
All right, there you go. That's
Yeah.
if you want a suggestion, maybe just join the team and that stuff too. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys got so much insight about the Colonist team and excited about some of the updates that are coming up, especially the Elo stuff. That's the exciting thing. So thank you guys so much for appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining in and watching us and supporting us from day one to now and the future.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
So yeah, I hope you guys got so much info about what's coming up for Colonists, and I hope you guys are excited about like some of the updates. I mean, like I said, my favorite's the Elo system. Be able to rank myself too. Maybe get like 2,000 Elo. That'll be pretty cool. That'll be up in the leaderboards too. So that's an exciting thing too. And mobile. That's an exciting thing for myself. Like being able to play on my mobile much easier. So I hope that was a great panel for you guys too. Well, let's move on to the next panel. We're gonna bring in we're gonna bring different representatives of the Discord communities that involve tournament league formats. So if you guys heard of Catan Community, King of Catan, and Catan Championships, those are Discords that have league and tournament formats. Weekly tournaments that you guys could go and play competitively and maybe win some money, but it's also a competitive environment for get your colonists fixed. So let's bring them in. So let's bring in Hukuna Matata. Trekosaurus, and we're gonna bring in Puzzles. Puzzles coming late too, so we'll bring we'll bring him in later. But let's bring in Trekosaurus and Hukuna Tom for the moment. Hello, guys. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Hey,
how are you?
Farmos. I'm doing well. Sorry, just had to close the stream real quick.
It's okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just doing Colonist Con. Just trying to be the best host I could be for guys. And how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Like you saw what happened to me in the national qualifiers, but yeah, I've recovered from that.
Yikes.
So
Yeah, 75%, man.
yes.
Next time.
Yeah, exactly. Well. What can you do too? So you guys are representatives. We're gonna bring Puzzles in later, shortly. But Hukuna, you're representative for Catan Champs. Trekosaurus, you're representative for KOC. So talk about the origins of your community and how much has grown from the start.
Yeah. Who do you want to start?
You can start, Trek, if you want.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm Hank or Trigosaurus, and I've started King of Catan at the 2nd of July of 2019, and we basically started out on as a tournament and community for Catan Universe games. We tried to have all the games there to complete, and at a certain point, a lot of people within the community asked for us to add Colonist as well to the options, and yeah, we were happy to do that. Although it took a while, but we did get there eventually. And yeah, to like partially, King of Catan has been there for players to improve and players to meet like-minded individuals and have a good time that way, and also to compete against the best of the best. And yeah, I think in that essence it hasn't really changed. I feel like it does that, and that's what King of Catan is all about. Partially, it's also to get games for my YouTube channel, or at least that's how it started out. And yeah, and also like the other way around, like to I would also have a place to promote my YouTube channel, and so that was a little bit of the idea. I'm working full time on KOC and on YouTube and on other Catan related entities that way, and yeah. What else would you want to know?
Well, well, we'll get the back that later on. But Hukuna, so we'll talk about We'll go with Hukuna. So talk about Catan Champ. You recently joined the team as part of the admin team, but tell about how Catan Champs originally was, and like talk about how much it's grown to a league format.
Yeah, so maybe I'm not the best person to answer that just because I've been a part of the team for maybe 2 months now only. I've only been playing Catan for about not even a year at this point. But from what Catan Championship used to be when I first joined, it was just weekly tournaments, whether free or you pay $5. It was highly competitive games, and that's how I got into the competitive scene. But recently, for this past year, we've been doing fully monthly leagues, basically like an alternative for auto matches on Colonist. Instead of just finding a very fast game or a fast game on the website, you come to the Discord, you post a link, and people will join, and you can get a game in any time of the day for people all over the world. So there's no strict schedule anymore. And I think we've gotten a lot more activity, and the community has grown since incorporating that.
Okay, yeah, it definitely has, and I've been loving the league format in Con Champions. So Puzzles has decided to join us. Hello, Puzzles. Welcome to the panel. I'm good. So we're talking about the origins of the community. So you've been part of Catan community I'm guessing for a while now. So talk about how that started and now how you guys are running weekly tournaments every week.
So Catan community started in basically September of 2020, and the focus has always been on the community. That's what the name is, Catan community. It's not like Catan competitive or Catan pro something. It's just Catan community because the focus is on the community. So we started right away with like weekly tournaments because there weren't weekly tournaments at the time. Like there were tournaments usually bi-weekly, but we wanted, we thought that people would want to have them weekly. Maybe like you can't go in 1 week and now you gotta wait 3 more weeks for the next one. So that was like our big thing. It's like every weekend, always a tournament, and we kept it up. So this year, it's been almost a year of like weekly nonstop tournaments, and that's what we liked. And currently, like we also have our league, which is a bit more casual because we value more like activity. If you're here, you play with us. Like you get league points, and you get to like, I feel like a lot of it is just getting to know people, getting to play games, and just having fun. Yeah, I feel like we focus basically on anything the community may want. So people say, hey, like we want tournaments of something else, like not the usual like 4-player. We want like citizen nights, or we want like different like variations, like 2 versus 2, where you have a teammate in the same game and you play against each other, like 1 versus 1s, playing in the free like weekly tournaments, like maps, like the fun maps. Like it's just, we always try to take ideas from like our community and just try to make it happen. And yeah, like we keep it up. We have many plans to like just always keep adding more features. And I don't know, any questions that people have, like we're always open to like trying to make anything work.
No, it definitely feels being involved with Catan community. Like I definitely feel the community part. I love the different tournaments, like the Season Nights tournament, especially. I'm always really want to participate in those tournaments. So yeah, that's awesome. You featured that too. So let's talk about like the different league formats and tournament formats you guys have. So Trek, let me start with you. With King Catan, you guys have 3-week season usually for base and Season Nights. So explain. I think Seafarers as well. Do you do Seafarers seasons at the moment or no?
We're currently focusing on the base game and cities and nights, and then 4-player per game, and also like that's consistently between all the games and for the playoffs as well. And we like people can play with us whenever they want, and get a game scheduled whenever they feel like they want to play, and that way they can also like play all the different game modes Colonist has to offer that way. So yeah, you're right about like we do like seasons, and lately we have changed from the 3-week season we've done in the past to 6-week seasons or 5-week seasons, depending on the season, or depending on like cities and nights is often a little longer than the base game that way, and like really giving people the time to make a run for the playoffs that way. And yeah, I, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so it's like 3-week seasons, freeze time, and then you have playoffs afterwards for like the top 16, I believe, or is it like top 20, top 24?
Yeah, it used to be top 16 indeed, and then we tried experimenting because we wanted to give like we kind of had the problem that like the person who finished in first place gets the same starting situation as the person who finished in 16th place, while the points difference is usually quite big. So what we try to do is do like the number 1 seed qualifies immediately for the playoff finals, and the other participants like up to 32 or 24. Currently, we are at 24. Is qualified in either the semifinals or the quarterfinals. So, like if you perform better within that season, you have a better shot at winning the title overall.
Okay, sounds good. And you also run a Premier League and a Premier League separated with the regular base season. So explain that as well.
Yeah. So that it's quite interesting how that originated, because Delighted, or my colleague YouTuber, you probably all know him. He had this competitive Catan group, and I had King of Catan at that time, and we were like saying, okay, we're basically doing the same thing. So what we ended up agreeing on is that I would do all the administration that way, and that way it would be in King of Catan, and we would be co-owners of the Premier League. The Premier League works as in players have to reach one of the criteria to make it into this league, like to become a proven competitor. And only proven competitors can join into the proven competitor league. And if people do well in the proven competitor league, they can play within the Premier League. And which is like a average is around 6-week season. You play one game a week, and then you, if you did well enough, you make it into the semifinals or the finals.
Okay, yeah, and playing the PL, it's always tough competition. You have national champions, you have basically online tournament winners too. Very tough competition. I played in a couple seasons in PL. It's tough. It's really tough to get success in that league. And I always respect anybody who wins the Premier League in KOC too. So it's very tough competition. It's goal for people in KOC, like, I want to be a proven competitor in KOC.
Yeah, exactly. You see that a lot when people truly see it as a goal to make the Premier League or to become a proven competitor.
Yes.
And that's also why we decided to have a 2-tier system for the Premier League right now, because what we saw in the past is that people then got to the proven competitor league and then, okay, now what? So
yeah, exactly.
I feel like the people who make it into proven competitor leagues are generally very ambitious, and it helps them if there's something to strive for. That's my experience, and I feel like people enjoy that. And what you said is true indeed. Like, people need to hit one of these criteria, which can either be winning a national championship, performing consistently in one of our 3 leagues, or really consistency is key, and also we also want to get the biggest names in online Catan to the Premier League that way, and like for them to have games on, like, we all know that like the game changes when it's played on a higher level, and that way for people to enjoy it that way.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of people like to play with similar skill or tough competition. So let's go on to Hakuna. Let's talk about it for Catan Champs. So you guys have a league format as well. It's a monthly league, and you have different divisions too. So explain that.
Yeah, so currently we have 2 divisions. We have the first division, which is the Plow division, and the second division, which is the Fluffy division.
And who came up with those names? Yeah, sorry.
The retired hero there.
Yeah.
So basically, normally if you first join the league, you'll be put into second division, and the top 16 of second division at the end of every month get moved into first division for the following season. Or if you've won tournaments in the past or a highly competitive player in the community, then you could possibly be in first division right off the bat. But currently we have about, I think, 100 players in Division 1, 200 players in Division 2, pretty active games 24/7. Let's see. So you play at least 15 games, and that's how your set is ranked. And so it's your best consecutive 15 games that you play out throughout the entire month. So you can play games as much as you want. You play 50 games. Any stretch of 15 games, that's your best. That's what we use in the standings. And top 16 go to semifinals at the end of every month. The winners go to the final, and a winner's crowned.
Simple as that too. Simple as that. But it's cool because with that, like, for someone say like a banner, you can play with similar skill people instead of like in a league where you can probably play with somebody who are maybe looking for wins like that. So with that, you could play with similar skilled people, and basically you could learn the game as well too. So that's what I like about it too. While for players, they could play with tougher competition. So
I like to think of it like an auto match, but with high quality players. You're not going to get those random people who will just collude with their friends that you might find like
Yeah.
randomly on the website. And so you kind of play with people that you play with them multiple times, and so you develop these relationships. You know their strategies after a while, and so I've made a lot of friends just from being a part of that league and seeing familiar faces.
Definitely, yeah. Too. Definitely. So puzzles. Let's talk about puzzles. Let's talk about Catan community. And so you have two. So you have tournaments and leagues. So you have a weekly. So we talk about the weekly tournaments. Also, you kind of have a league format intertwined with those tournaments. So please explain that.
Yeah, so we have the Catan community competitive universe in which they're connected in a way. So basically the way our league works is it's mostly monthly. There's a monthly league, and they all come together in a season, which is 3 months to a season. But first, the basics: just a monthly league. You get league points by winning matches, and then you can check if you're in the top of the leaderboard. This system is fun because if you're active, you want to play Catan, you get to get lots of league points just by playing a lot. But a way to balance out, it's not just playing a lot, but like you can be good and not play a lot and still make it to the end. Is how we have tournaments involved, because your performance in the tournaments will give you league points. So the better you do in tournaments, the more league points you'll get. So if you don't play a lot with us, but like you play in the tournaments and you're a good player, so you'll rank highly, that's a good way to make up league points to get to the end, to the monthly league finals. We also have wagers in our league, where in our matchmaking system, you can create a game to play with other players, but you can also put your league points on the line. So you can bet your own league points. So the winner gets even more league points just because everyone's putting in their league points to bet on themselves. So it's a bit like gambling, but like it's a skill-based gambling, so not really gambling. And that's another way for competitive players who say, I'm really good at this game. I know I'll win. I'll bet all. Like I'll bet 250 league points. It's a good way that a few wins and like you'll get to near the top of the leaderboard. And our format is similar to what Trig was saying, in which some of the players will go straight to semifinals, and we'll have some quarterfinals who of players will compete for the last spot. So usually we do like the top 28, the top 12, skip around, and then the next 16 will fight for the last 4 spots. We may reduce that a bit just so we have like a more condensed leaderboard, but yeah, it's all interconnected. That you said tournaments give you league points. All tournaments, even like the Citizen Night tournaments, will give you league points. The only exception is the cash tournaments, because we find that it would be unfair if like you can, like even you can afford to play it, or like maybe like your country has no way to like send money to pay cash. Then you won't be able to play, and then we wouldn't want to put you in that disadvantage and not get league points because you can play in the cash tournament. But everything else, league points anytime you want.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I'm one of those guys who wagers a lot. I'm one of those people who does the wager games too. So yeah, but yeah, it's cool that you intertwine the league and tournaments together to create one big thing. So that's a really cool thing. So the cool thing I think about these league of tournaments that I forgot to mention, you guys can win prizes. Like players can win prizes for winning the leagues. Like you can win cash and Colonist coins. Is that correct, guys? So everybody's nice. So like I think for King of Catan, it's like what, $25 US for winning a league, and I think
It used to be 25 indeed, and currently for the base game season it's 50 euros, and for Cities and Nights it's 25 euros.
Yeah, and Catan Champ is what, 40 something like that, or
Oh man, that's an outdated number. Last season, the champion came home with $70. We gave away $300 in prizes just for one season.
yeah,
More to come.
yes. And Catan community is like you get Colonist coins, but you have cash tournaments as well too. So
Yeah, and we have the season tournaments, which are like every 3 months, and for those, the winner gets a Catan set that has a value of like $150 around that, and then the finalist and one raffle gets a price of around $50. It's like a tan theme like prize you get.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So I think I joined the Catan competitive about like I say like a year and a half ago, like during the start of the pandemic. That's where I joined King of Catan, and I think the main thing really main benefit for me that I've learned from joining these competitive discords, how much my game has improved. Like extortions, I never knew about that till I played the game. Now I use it constantly too. Like my national qualifier last night, I used mono as extortion. I would never think about doing that a couple years from now. So let's talk about like how does being part of like competitive Discord like you guys, how much has that like improved your game?
For me personally, or
Yes,
for
for you
players
personally.
in general?
Well, both.
For me personally,
Both. You can
oh
say.
yeah, I can try to answer both. For me personally, it was a huge growth, and like you mentioned already, the extortions like popularized by K20 or maybe even invented. I don't know. He and many others have taught me many things. Like it's great to play against players of the highest caliber because one, you see what they do, like you see how they achieve results, and also how you can ask them questions. And usually, people, if you're willing to learn, then people can be really helpful if you ask them nicely, and also if you're. It also probably helps that, like for us three, we are the tournament organizers, so people are usually very appreciative of what we're doing that way. So then they're also more likely willing to help, and that has been definitely great. And yeah, I think my game has improved like so much. Basically, how I look at my game from back then when I was already grandmaster on like on the other platform.
Yes.
But I was so what so basically playing a lot of King of Catan games has really put it so that in the context how I look back at how I played back then is like I'm playing a totally different game. It has improved in like terms of skill like 10 times. That's and also like it's really enjoyable. You can really make friends with people among the community, and that's definitely for shy people like me. It's very it's a great experience to have that way, and that is something I'm the most grateful for. Like improving my game is like really nice, but really that like the friendships and connections you build with people is the best thing.
Hokuna and puzzles.
Yeah, I can jump in. So yeah, I went from playing just random auto matches, like I said before, to playing against tournament champions every single time. And so just by constantly being around that competition, you're going to get better. And we even have a strategy whole text channel within our discords. So if you have a question about where would you get a place, tell me where did I mess up here, why didn't I win? There's that space to collaborate with other strong players as well to learn. And then also, a little hint that we might be expanding to Cities and Night League soon. I have nowhere to like. I have no idea where to start with that game. I've never played the expansion.
Hey,
but I
Trek has a
assume
video. Trek has a video.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, yeah. So being a part of a league in a game I've never played before, I'm sure that's again going to help me see a whole different game pretty much with that expansion.
Yeah. I mean, I was like you. I had no idea too what season I actually my first game I traded somebody to win and the guy got pissed off. Oops. So
Classic Vamos right there.
yeah, traded win. It worked out better in the long run with season nights for me. So, but yeah, no, yeah, and I think for me, like I did know season nights too, and now I just feel like I'm a grandmaster in season nights. I mean, not to brag, but but yeah, I come from nothing to something in a pretty short time. I felt so. And puzzles, do you have anything to add about just in terms of like?
I went from a 40% win rate to a 25% win rate. So I don't know what that means.
Should-
No, I learned a lot just because as a host, you watch the games, you watch the finals to make sure everything's okay, and then you see like some really good moves, or like you watch the streams, and like then people like you will say, like, oh, like no, I would do this, I would do that, and then you kind of learn any new tricks. You gotta like think 5 steps ahead, so you eventually some of that sticks to me. So I have gotten better, and overall the community, like others mentioned, like yeah, we have members who like will teach anyone. So like sometimes people join and say, hey, like I'm new, I don't know how to play. We're like, okay, just come here, we'll play a quick game, and then we'll explain to them through voice chat, and it's a good way to get better.
Yeah, and that's what actually people tell about my streams. Like, oh, I'm glad you stream because I could rewatch it, and I could actually learn from mistakes I've done too. So I guess that's the benefit for me streaming. People get better than me, but people learn from their mistakes and actually watch. So, but yeah, just like the katana advice, like back last year, I constantly like ask in terms of like, oh, where should I play? Should I do this move too? I think thinking about that like placements, I think the big thing is also learning like where do other people place in the board. That's a skill I've learned, like where do everybody places too. And that's from advice I've asked from like the strategy advice group. So that's definitely a big credit for me why I've improved as a player in the past year too. And also being part of these communities, I feel like I've created so many friends in these communities too. Like I've talked to you for all of you both, and we've talked a lot too. So being part of the community, like being part of these communities, like has it been cool, like to create like such memorable friendships and that stuff. Like yeah, that's what's been fun for me. I created a lot of friends from these part of the community. So if anybody wants to chime in on that.
Yeah, I would say that I've met people from all over the world, which I never thought I would meet. It's just crazy how many people you meet, how many connections you've met through the game, and just I know people from like China, from Australia, from Romania, like Chile, like everywhere. It's crazy how like we're all connected, and we all like it's like an international game. Like we're all here for one reason, and that's Catan to Colonists. And I mean, it's crazy how like we can just talk to each other and like play tournaments, play leagues, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what puzzles say. I'd also say is like I found Catan last year during the pandemic, so I've yet to do an in-person tournament. But I can only assume that'll be really cool if you run into someone that you've played online and then you meet them in person and you get to compete with them in real life instead. And so that'd be really cool. I assume that happens.
That happened to me this weekend.
Yeah.
That happened to me this weekend. Met
Did you-
in
What
couple.
did you play, Famos?
I played in Bradford, New York, a national qualifier. I met July literally came up from Texas to New York, and I actually
Cool.
met someone from Catan Champs, Dandy Drew, who came up from Florida to. It's crazy what people would do to try to qualify for the U.S. Nationals, but it's cool to see so many the online community in person when you play with them online. So that's really cool. Let's head to some viewer questions now. Let's see see what the viewers have to say, and I think it's the puzzle for the question for puzzles here. So, what's the story behind all those robber icons in Discord? There's so many of them popping up. What the heck is that about?
Well, one of our community members, her name is Loaf. She's an artist. Many of you probably know her. She is incredible. She's very talented. She just made them months ago for some of us, and then people saw them, people liked them, and then say, "Hey, can I have one? Hey, can I have one?" She now has like a Ko-fi like website where you can donate money so she can like support her art. Because everyone asks, "Hey, can I have this?" So, but she still makes them. I think I saw 2 new ones today or 3 new ones today. Like they're very well done, and yeah, I mean, like it starts because like she did it to her friends who were all Catan community members, so that became kind of like the Catan community symbol in a way where like you knew like we were like the rubber gang, like we would come, you knew where we came from, and they're just super cute. So like yeah, if you want one, you can ask her, and she can maybe help you get some.
Shout out to Lo. She is an amazing artist. Even the work she's done for the Stellar series, it's pretty amazing the work she does. So shout out to Loaf. Definitely support her in Ko-fi. I agree. So let's go with the next question. What's the ideal way an average player can become a competitive player? It's kind of what we discussed with strategy discussion, right? What's the ideal way
Yeah.
an average player can become a competitive player?
Yeah, so step 1, you join Catan Championship Discord, and you sign up for the league, and you play these players, and you play as many games as you want, and each game you'll get a little better. And if you take a picture of like the result or a key moment in the game, post it in the strategy discussion, a lot of people are going to reply to it and share their thoughts, and it just sparks the discussion that makes you a better player.
Step 2, you leave Catan Championship and you join Catan Community. And then you play some games with us, and most of our players, if you're open to criticism, people will be happy to give you criticism. And for the most part, it will be nice criticism because we have a very strict like moderation system. Where like if anyone is like an a-hole to you, we will talk to them and make sure it stays clean. But yeah, like you're saying, like you just play with other people, and we'll give you like advice on how to do better, and usually ask, hey, like how can I improve? And we'll give them quick tips. And just through practice, like you gotta learn. Even you just jump into a tournament to see how you do against other competitive players.
What's the free
So,
trick?
step 3. No, I'm just kidding. Like you can become a better Catan player in a lot of ways, but like what the other guys have pointed out are some of the ways. I feel like it always has to be like there has to be a way where you get information and a way to implement that information and see if it works or not. And like that's also my idea behind like YouTube and tournament, because what I noticed, like I've been a competitive gamer for quite a while, and what I've noticed is that you can really improve if you like get the right information and then practice against like these top players and like improve on then and then ask questions like Puzzles pointed out as well. I think in big lines that's really it, and also participating in the strategy discussion, and I think that's one of the best ways. Also watch streamers. Definitely watch Thomas Cosmos. He's a great streamer, and there are many other Catan streamers as well. And that those are ways. Like you have to really really live the game in that sense, and really be a student of the game if you want to become one of the world class players that way.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like learning from streamers. I've learned. Okay. Yeah, just learning from those streamers, learning how the way they play the game. You could definitely learn a lot from them too. So next question is, how do you try to cater to for both beginner and advanced players in your community? See some thought coming in, like,
So
Could you
I can
say the question again?
How do you cater for both beginner players and also advanced players in your community?
Yeah, so one thing we try to do that with is the Premier League, that you have to become a proven competitor based on criteria to become one in that league, and like in the sense that Catan, like truly becoming good at Catan, is that you have to beat both actually. So like if you want to win the world championship, you will have to qualify through all different types of players. So you'll have to understand all different types of players, and I find it difficult to really cater towards like groups of players. I'd rather like cater to like individual player, because like some like really high profile players, high super strong players like to play against easier opponents, and some people like to play against tougher opponents. So that um, we try to give a little bit of everything that way. So yeah, I hope to have answered your question, but yeah, I don't know.
I can jump in. So yeah, as we said before, we have 2 different leagues. So newer players, they join the second division, And after every season, we kind of readjust players, whether demoting or promoting to the different divisions. If you don't want a competitive game, we also have a friendly game section where you can kind of organize just a chill game that doesn't count towards your ranking. But yeah, so we just cater to everyone primarily by just assigning them to different communities within the Discord server. But at the same time, so me personally, whenever I joined Catan Championship, I was pretty much brand new to Discord as well. And so we're trying to keep the Discord as clean and as organized as possible, just to make it really easy to navigate and understand how simple the process is. And so it really is just like an auto match. You click the link and you don't have to do anything else unless you win the game. And you just post a picture and tag people. And that's it. That's the whole process behind the entire league. And so we're trying to minimize like all the complexities of like filling out a Google form to submit a win and everyone having to do something. And we're just trying to make that as easy as possible. So it's very attractive for newer players.
And yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No,
So
pause.
thank you. What's up?
Sorry, pause. Sorry, I keep on to you. Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
I think the community is kind of like it's our thing to like be like welcoming to like the less competitive players to get them started into competitive setting. That's where the community part comes with us. And well, first in the tournaments, uh, we have our finals have different brackets, so it's not just the top 16 that plays in the finals. It's we have the top 32, top 48, top 64. So like if you're not a good player, you can still get to experience the tournament like experience. And even though you didn't rank that well, you can still get to go to your own semifinals and your own finals. Uh, so you still get that practice, even though like you were not like the top, you can still get to experience a competitive setting with people around your same level because you were all ranked around the same placements. That's for tournaments, and then and you can still win prizes because we have raffles, and the better you do in the lower brackets, the better chances you have to win a prize. So like even if you're not that good at the game, you can still win prizes in tournaments, which is like what we like. And then secondly is our league system. Like Akuna was saying, how important it is to keep things like clean. We try to minimize how much work our players do. So like our bot is beautiful. It's like God's gift to man. It's just you just do like a command create game with
Yeah.
the link, and like, people can just like click on an icon, and then they can just join the game. And we do this because just psychology wise, if you ask, hey, who wants to play, people will be like, I don't know if I want to say me. But if you just have to click a link saying me, I want to play, it kind of helps psychologically for people to like, hey, yeah, I want to play. And to if you win, then you just do a command, say winner, and then just your name, and then post a screenshot, and then the bot will automatically do the math, and you can see in real time how many league points you got, or how many league points you lost if you wager stuff like that. And then, like we were saying, our league is welcoming to new people because if you are new but you want to play a lot to get better, which is what I think you should do. If you are new and you want to get better, you should play a lot. You do well in the league because just because you play so many games, you have more league points. And if you're not new, you're like very competitive. You don't have to play as many games, and you can still get to the top because you did well in tournaments or you wager your league points. So it helps both worlds. Like if you're competitive, you can do less work to get there, and if you're new, just because you want to practice, you probably get there because of all the practice that you did.
I agree. Practice makes perfect too. Oh, we got two more questions coming up. Next question: how much time does it take to organize a weekend tournament? And you might be on. Have you considered automate some of this? You might be automate some of your stuff puzzles with your weekly tournaments. So, how much time does it take organizing these weekly tournaments?
Not that long. The biggest time it takes just to switch dates because we had to switch the date from this one's August 24th. Actually, this one will be like August 31st. So that's not even a date. But regardless, it's just trying to update things for the new tournament, change like the links to fit the new one. Probably takes about like an hour of like an actual work to like get to the start point, and then probably like the busiest part for us for tournaments is check in like the hour before the tournament round 1 starts. We want people to check in because sometimes people register and they don't show up, so we can make tables just based on who registered because it's not reliable. So we just have a check-in process for like almost an hour where people can just click that, yeah, I'm here, I'll play. And usually that takes some time because sometimes people like check in but like they never register, or like they register with the wrong name, so like the bot won't be able to know who they are because they said their name was like Vamos Cosmo, not Vamos Cosmos, like small stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we have automated so much of it that like once check-in is done, and even check-in is fairly automated now, just gotta have someone do a few things. It's becoming fairly easy.
Okay.
I mean, you still gotta be there because if something goes wrong, like you do like, hey, like what happened, and like people complain saying, hey, this person cheated. So you always have to be there during the tournament. But it takes less work. Like I just went for a run and during the finals.
Yeah.
That's why my face is all red.
Oh yeah, you guys have final. And Trek, you run weekly tournaments as well. So how long does it take for you to these weekly tournaments? You doing MSO as well?
Yeah, so like basically what Puzzle said applies to the tournaments I've run as well. Like there's enough automated that you just need to be there and make sure. Like basically, I'm playing in my own tournaments as much as possible. Like unless we go to a few hundred people, then I have to make sure that the system doesn't crash. But like most of the work I'm actually doing is like I try to start all the games with 4 players. So that is like finding backups in time is the most work and the most stressful because people will say oh yeah, I can play, and then a few minutes later they will say, oh no, I changed my mind. That is one of the most difficult aspects, but overall for the players basically won't notice if there's much delay that way. That's my experience, and yeah, basically all puzzle set applies to the tournaments I run as well.
Okay, yeah, that's good. There's some automation for these tournaments. Go. One last question, and this is the most upvoted question in the Pigeonhole page too. They're asking Puzzles, why are you so damn hot, man? Why are you so damn hot? That's the most upvoted question.
This is not a good representation because I literally just came from a 6-mile run. I didn't even shower. I just like
Hey, this funny Puzzle.
because you were saying Puzzles one's not here, and I was like, oh shit, like the shower's like on, so I just put on this on. I'm wearing like shorts right now. Next year I'll show off.
So yes.
I promise he's hotter.
Oh no. Oh god. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the panel. I hope you guys got a lot of information about these Discord communities. Please join one of these communities if you want to get involved in Catan Discord. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you all.
Yeah,
no problem.
Ask us anything.
Will do. All right. So I hope. So yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed that panel. I said like there's a bunch of competitive Colonist Discord that you guys could be a part of to get into competitive scene as well. So hope you guys be able to join one of those. But let's do our first giveaway. Today. We're gonna give away some expansion, guys. We give some expansion. So let's do the hashtag. Yeah, who wears pants? Let's do the hashtag #WeIsForNoobs in honor. So type in this hashtag right now. Wait, don't do it yet. Actually, sorry. Wait, whoop. Sorry. Let's see. Let me do a keyword. No, wait, guys, wait. Don't do it yet. All right. Wait. I forgot to type it. All right. So. All right, type it now, guys. We is for noobs. If you want a giveaway, we is for noobs. Type this chat. We is for noobs. If you guys want, I'll give you guys 2 minute. Oh god, we got people rolling in. Do the we is for noobs. give it a minute here, guys. How you guys all doing tonight? Today or tonight? It's a nice sunny day in Binghamton, New York. It's a little sunny out there, so really nice. So let's do it. Let's give it a couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Get it in, guys. Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. And let's roll. Oh wait, shoot. Do it again. Frick. I don't know what happened, guys. Wait. I'm trying to do the giveaway, guys, and it's not working. Oh my god, I don't know why it's working. Alright. See, let's just sorry, okay. Let me just scroll my mouse here. Let's do it the weird way. Let's just scroll my mouse, see where my mouse ends up. Where my mouse ends up. This is kind of weird. Let's just fish it and we'll stop. Oh, Box PR wins it. Box PR, you're the winner of a Colonist expansion giveaway. So please message Juan at. So Box PR is the winner. I'm gonna say declared there. I'm sorry. I was trying to do the freaking Nightbot. It didn't work out. Sorry. Whoopsies. So yeah, Box PR, you're the winner of a Colonist giveaway. So congrats to you. Message Juan on Discord. He'll give you more information on getting your Colonist expansion. So congrats to you. So meantime, let's bring in the next panel. This is probably the panel you guys are most excited about. We're gonna bring in streamers and YouTube to this panel. These are guys, including myself, that stream and do YouTube content for Colonists, and probably the reason why you got into playing to Colonist.io too. You've been watching all those videos too. So let's see. Let's bring in Delighted, Hawkeye, and Shinsu Law. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going today? Especially Delighted. Have you gone on your flight yet or no?
No, I'm at the airport right now. What Shinislaw is holding up is a reference to my New York City tournament where I held my road building and held my mono, and I lost because of that.
Oh,
But yeah,
did you
no.
see? Did you see?
Of course he saw that. Of course he saw
But yeah,
that.
I'm doing quite well. I just finished traveling and playing a Catan tournament, and I'm headed back. So
Yeah,
thank you for everyone who watches my content, who supports me. I really, really, truly appreciate it.
Yeah, I wonder what tournament you went to. I might have been there same as well. So yeah, let's introduce ourselves. So Delighted, Shin, Hawkeye, please introduce yourself. Everyone wants to start. Shin, you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. Hey, my name is Shin. I am a Catan player. I don't really call myself a streamer, but maybe I am a content creator because I am. I do a podcast that's a bit on a hiatus right now. I sometimes stream and I help around in the community. I started playing Catan because of a guy that is in this channel, Delighted. I watched like a few YouTube videos from him and then said, okay, let's play a bit. And yeah, now I'm playing, I think, in almost all the servers. And yeah, I just like to play Catan and Prost. And I have hair.
Yeah, some hair. Some hair. All right. So you want to introduce?
Yeah, of course. So I have a YouTube channel on YouTube. It just goes over Catan strategy and stuff. And I started just like around 2 years ago, and I was inspired by a smaller creator named Neonate. And I loved his videos, and there's nothing on Catan in general on YouTube at all. So I thought I might as well try to be besides him. So I wanted to be, I guess, almost like a trailblazer, because he inspired me first. And now 2 years later, I'm here. So thank you guys for everyone who watches my content again. I'm truly grateful for it. I never thought 2 years ago I'd be traveling around the world playing Catan tournaments with my YouTube money.
Yeah, or traveling to New York just to play in Catan tournament. I can see. And Hawkeye. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Hawkeye. I don't really do any streams or YouTube or anything, but I've definitely played in a lot of them and like helped people theirs. And I'll go ahead and take credit for like I'm like the mastermind behind all the delighted content. He's just kind of like the face, the poster boy of it. But what most people don't know is everything in those videos is all me. He just kind of you had to put like a face and a voice up there, so
Or a
that's where he
drawing.
comes
It's
in.
a drawing of you.
Yes, that's true.
Is
Of course.
So yeah. So Hawkeye, you've been in like Twitch streams constantly and YouTube videos and like Delay and Shin. Like you guys constantly pump out like Twitch. Oh, and Delay, you pump out YouTube comment. So what do you like most about like that aspect, the streaming and YouTube aspect of being involved streaming Colonist content for the viewers?
Sure, I guess I can go first. When it comes to YouTube, I think I like it because you can really refine down the process to like, so it's like a really nice 10-minute piece of like high quality content you spend hours and hours on. And that's what I really like about YouTube, how you can refrain, edit, and keep making it better, better, better. And then the end product is really good for the viewers. But for me, Twitch, I think I like that just because you get to play a lot more. And I feel like I can just be myself a lot more on Twitch.
Yeah. For me, I think it's pretty easy. I'm like a procrastinator. So that means I like in my free time, even in my work time, I go on Twitch, I go on YouTube and try to watch stuff. And when I like something, I try to get as much information out of it that I can. So I love watching. And then I thought, okay, I love watching stuff. Why don't I also just stream some of my games so other people can watch that? Because I think also other people are like me and like don't like to work and stuff. And also, I love interacting with the community. There are like so many people in chat. We also have some of them in here that watch all of our streams and like to help us, like to troll with us, like people making Dylan plays on 11-12 for some channel points. You know, I think that's part of the community, and that's what makes it so fun. Like playing alone in my cabin without any friends is not that fun. But I think creating content, you meet way more people and friends.
And like Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say. I think it's been a lot more like viewer friendly recently. Like Catan. Like thinking back to when I started playing competitively, like a couple of years ago. I mean, I'd Google Catan strategy and read a couple articles that were like 10 years old or something. But now, you know, with all these streamers, I mean, it's easy to just, you know, you can pull up a stream almost any weekend, watch a competitive game, watch tips, videos on strategy, things like that. So it's a lot more viewer friendly, like, you know, some of the other, you know, bigger sports and games out there.
Yeah, and that's what people have told me about my streams. Like they're able to learn from my stream, learn from the mistakes too. So that's a big benefit too of just with YouTube content, people are able to learn. So do you think that's been increased the past couple of years? Just like the amount of people have been able to learn through YouTube and Twitch?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I just want to, I think that's not no more than just yes. You know, like we have Delighted in here. He's a guy who streams and he tries to talk through his reasoning while streaming with DJ, who's not here right now, but he also does that. Vamos, you do that. So you learn about reasonings, why people do it. Like you're not only watching and spectating a game in Colonist and not seeing what these people think. You can hear what these people think, and that means you can also like maybe incorporate that into your own game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just the amount I'm able to learn from the live video, especially like position too. So I'd be able to learn a lot from definitely videos and just learning from how they play too through streams. Yeah, but I wonder though, how much work goes into like creating like those great YouTube videos, streams? That's like a question for I think for Delight and Shin to talk about.
Yeah, for me, it depends on what type of videos it can go into it. It can either range from like, I don't know, from like 10 hours all the way to like over 40 for a single video, which is a lot of time.
Yeah.
But that's because it doesn't take that much time to start out. So if you guys are interested in creating content, I would say just say do it, because there's a huge gap right now, and I think now is the perfect time to start. And if you really do create good stuff, I'll shout you out. Whenever I see gold, I like to appreciate it. Put it that way. So I put a lot of effort into my content, YouTube content. But I mean, Twitch streams, it's more kind of just I chill out. I still try to plan for every single stream to make it, instead of just like, all right, let's just click buttons and play. But I try to have some type of event or something planned. And I think that's a general pretty good practice to have like an idea or content idea for Twitch.
Yes. But the other thing is, like, for me, I never call myself a streamer because I'm too lazy to stream regularly, I think, and just like to have fun. But everyone can do Twitch. Doing a Twitch stream, like the normal Twitch stream, that's something that was pretty easy. Just turn on Twitch, get OBS or something else, and share your screen. And even with that, there are people who get a lot of views just doing that and having fun, meeting new people. And if you're having fun, maybe you can start to put more time into it, because even if you're just streaming on Twitch, it can be quite. It's not always similar. Like Vamos, we hosted a tournament, the TSS tournament, and at that time, even Twitch streaming wasn't an easy task because we had so many different things to think about, jumping in and out of voice chat, having different scenes. So even that can be quite a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of work. A lot behind the scenes work too. Even trying to prepare for this was a lot of work too. So I can totally relate too. So one thing I mentioned about the tournament that we worked in, the sorry, it was just all three of us were involved in part there, whereas like producing or being part as a player too. And you saw how big it became. There's like prize pool and the amount of viewers we got too. So could we go even bigger, like in terms of like growth, in terms of like prize pool or just like viewership in terms of that? Could we even go bigger, and how can we be able to?
I think I can answer that. Yes, definitely. You can. Satellite Series is a great example of how to run a great online event. I think you could easily get to the thousands of viewers for live streams, and even more. I mean, we raised over $1,000 for that, or y'all did. Yeah. And it can definitely grow a lot bigger for sure. And I think I can only see Catan growing in the future. I think the ways to do that though, it's like I think the biggest thing is on YouTube, because Twitch is a lot harder to discover. So I would definitely try to create YouTube videos from Satellite Series, since there's just absolutely great production quality, great casting, just great everything, and that's how you're supposed to run an event. I really think so.
Thank you so much for the comments too. So
thank you.
Yeah. So as Hawkeye's a competitive player like you, like I figure like Catan prizes, like they're probably not as like great as like winning like chess tournaments. So like do you think it could grow even bigger for you as well? Like even for like even real life tournaments as well, as such? Do you think like?
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing I like about the Seller series is that you guys always mentioned how you wanted to make it, for the viewers. 'Cause, I mean, you want to do something different. There was already a lot of, there's tons of tournaments out there, tons of streams out there. I mean, there's plenty of people. I mean, you can just go on Colonist, spectate a game. So it's been really easy recently to just watch Catan games. So I think with the Seller series, it was really cool. You guys went above and beyond and said, we don't want it just to be spectating a game. You wanted to make it for the viewer. So you made, you got this commentary team, you got artists, and put all this stuff together to make it more of a production, something that people would enjoy watching rather than just, watching a game being played, which, you can do pretty much anywhere. But yeah, it will really be interesting to see, going forward with, like you mentioned, in-person tournaments. That's something that's kind of been put on hold the last couple of years. And the online stuff, a lot of people weren't really familiar with Catan until the pandemic and, getting into the online stuff. So it'll be interesting to see, how some of that carries over to in-person. I know Delighted's mentioned a lot that he thinks in-person tournaments will be a lot tougher this year. Nationals will be a lot tougher. So, we'll see how that, translates to, the in-person tournaments.
I think we got like a preview of the game we played last night, Delight, in terms of like production. Because like, even though it was just basically your iPad that you use, like basically with that that video of your board, like I was able to like share it to like my Instagram followers and like my friends and family too, and just it kind of blew up as kind of a live event. You already have like 3,000 views in terms of like in terms of like how many people have viewed it. It's pretty crazy. Like just like that small, like just that in-person game, you already get so many views. So in the previous one of the previous panels we had, we with the Colonist team, they talk about like elo system and playing on mobile too. So do you think that would help improve like content for YouTube and Twitch? Like how would that help out?
Yes, I would love to
Yes.
speak on this.
Yes.
I'm a very big, passionate fighter for the elo system. I think in general, greater content comes with greater stakes, because you know, if the viewers don't know, like if they know a lot is at stake, it makes for a better overall video or stream, or just in general adds more tension, makes them want to stay, especially if the production quality is great. With elo, it's just like, you know, going for top 100. If you see any really amazing big games, just like, I mean, just looking at like any like competitive game like League of Legends, Hearthstone, or like what are some other great big games like, you know, chess, all of those have elo, and all of those have like the top players at the top, and it gives the players something to, one, numerically evaluate themselves, but two, just to add stakes to it. Like, can this guy make it to the top 10, and can he pull the final victory point to make it to, you know, to be the #1 rank of the season? And it also lets the people who are on the top of the top, like, here's proof that I am one of the best. Here's, you know, it makes for easier content, and also makes for just added stakes. And I think that it's almost addicting to try to gain up your elo and really grind down. So I think that's something I've been an advocate of for a really, really long time.
Yes, I just want to add, I totally agree. Like, one of the things that I love about streaming Catan is, like I said, interacting with people. And right now, if you play tournaments, most tournaments say, okay, try to not interact with people, which I can totally see, because, you know, a tournament, you don't want to get help and stuff. But that also kind of hinders some of the streaming quality, in my opinion. But if you like try for elo, you don't voice chat, you can interact with chat, maybe joke a bit. I'm thinking about like Hearthstone. I think it's kind of the same. Like, it's Catan is a game where you don't have to, if you don't want to give 100%, 95% is enough, you can talk a lot to stream and have fun. And that is what elo system can really, really do. So I hope elo system will be there soon.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are hoping for that too, and maybe you could try measure up to like real life too. So that, yeah, I think that's been a big asking point too, because like just being able measuring up, and that creates storylines back too. So
Yes.
is there any other improvements in Colonist that you like guys see for just like streaming and YouTube purposes other than elo, or that's really it?
Think there are a few things. So one thing that I think is pretty easy, I think Dylan agrees with me here, is a lot of other sites that host online games have like a small section that says, okay, stream live on Colonist, for example, because there's right now a Colonist section to that you can stream on Twitch. And I think it's pretty easy to program, that you have like on the top left corner of the website something, okay, these players are live. Because right now I have to go on Twitch, search who's online. Some people play on a board game, some people play on a Colonist, so it's not so easy to find everyone. And that would help us streamers a lot, but that was also help like the viewers, in my opinion.
Yeah, so just to add on to what Shinislaw is saying, right now there's, for me especially, there's not a really big incentive to stream under the Colonist section. In fact, I never do it, and instead I stream under the board game section. Because on Twitch specifically, the Catan is very fractured. There's an actual Catan, there's a Catan universe, there's a Colonist, and there's a board game section. So why should I stream under the Catan section, or the Colonist section, if I can stream under board games, just be ranked 1 for that? And I've seen other streamers doing that. So some incentives for streamers or content creators just to, you know, stream under Colonist. That'd be awesome.
So one last question before we go into the viewer questions too from me too. So I think when I think about like we're creating so much content for streams as well for Twitch too, how do you think that could help correlate to create more like real life content? Because really the only like 1-2 videos I see, like I remember for like real life are like the Canadian National Championships and the World Championship, where Real Crate plays on 9/12. So do you think that'll be the hope for like more in person like content as well, in terms of like?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, clearly, the Canadian World Championship, Canadian Nationals got over 600,000 views. So clearly, there's a huge audience for watching competitive Catan games, and they just have to do it right. And I think that there's actually before, like 2 years ago, there was not very much out there in terms of just like live tournament content, or if there was, it was really, really low production quality. And I think finally with the Canadian National Championship, I mean, 600,000 views are clearly doing something right. The production quality is on point, and there's definitely an audience. So I think from now on, it's only going to be bigger and bigger, especially after bringing that much traction and attention to it. So yeah, I think there's a lot more room, and I'm going to definitely do my best with these live tournaments that I'm going to, and try to record it the best I can and turn it into a video.
Yes, and live tournaments also help like to create storylines. We have Hawkeye here. He himself is a storyline. As like from Dylan made a video about how I started Catan, and he did it so good that everyone remembers Hawkeye, and maybe also through one or two other videos. And I think if you see the faces of some of these players, and you maybe see them twice or three times, you know who these people are, and that is what maybe needs to happen, in my opinion, right now, to give Catan the next step. We have now Delighted. We have a few other people, Vamos, U2, Hawkeye. But I think people need to know who the good players are. People need to form relationships with these players to then maybe root for them in bigger tournaments and stuff like that. So I hope that's going to happen with the real life tournaments soon.
Okay, got anything to add about that?
Yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of that. So Dylan, obviously just made it to qualify for nationals yesterday, so he'll be there this year with me. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if they do any kind of production or anything like that. I think last or 2019 when we were there, they said they like lost their equipment or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Oopsie.
So we'll see. We'll see what they do this year. So yeah, I kind of agree. I also watch the Canadian Championship, all that. I think they did a good job with it. So I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been any more of that. It took till this long, but I definitely think with all the YouTube content that's out there from online stuff, that we'll start to see some more of the in-person things. I definitely would like to see that.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to have big production quality. You need to have like more than like a really shitty cam. But I don't think the production quality has to be like on par with the bigger thing. I think a lot of people just don't try enough to make it.
Or for what I get from most of it, you create more memes, like the 9/12 meme. You're
Yes,
welcome.
yes.
You're welcome, Real Crate.
Real Crate. And I love Mawam, I should say that.
All right, guys. Let's go on to some questions that the users want to. So the top question here from somebody anonymous is that this ain't the lie you got tagging this is that you promote extortion with your videos. This may cause new players to have a less enjoyable experiences online. What's the best way to prevent players to use extortions on new players?
I think that's a great question, especially since as just strategically wise, right? And just also just like a people wise, why would you want to piss off a player by playing Catan? It just makes it less fun for everyone. And I think that's all about how just strategically wise, like how you frame it. So instead of saying like, "Oh, trade me or else I'm gonna rob you," point a gun at them basically. You say just like,
Okay.
"Hey, you really have wheat, and I'm probably gonna steal from you, but I can not steal from you if you can trade me instead." Just because I kind of have this wheat. You're giving them more of like a an option. And I think that if you especially just talk with them, just like tell them like why this is happening and let them understand like this is why. There's nothing personal. I just really need this card. Since everyone steals from someone because of a card, and I think we've all done that before. And it's almost giving them an out to not get robbed. So I think it's really just all about how you frame it, especially since it's becoming just like very, very, very common extortion left and right now. But especially to the newer players who've never experienced any touch of competitive Catan, they're just like, "What is this? You're threatening me? What? No." I feel so offended, and that actually happens a lot in live tournaments, especially for people who have never ever experienced that before. It's all about how you frame it. Yeah.
Yes, and I also think it's like people watch Dylan's video and they think, okay, I'm nice, little delighted, and I will extort everyone. But I think if you look a bit more at Dylan's videos, you can see that you don't extort with every 7. You don't do what he says. There are like a lot of players who live the extortion, but never make someone feel bad. I'm thinking about Cool KP, for example. Like he extorts every time, but he still knows how to help each other. So I think people need to think that one of the goals in really high competitive Catan, in my opinion, is like to balance out the board. And that's the reason for extortion. You try to balance out the board a bit. So if we extort someone like 3 or 4 times and he's behind, you maybe need to help him because he's behind. And if you don't help him, he's out of the game, and that maybe means he blocks you, or I don't know. So yeah, you need to like think about what do I get by extortion. Also, if you're getting extorted, you need to think about, okay, what does that mean? So I think extortion is a great thing for Catan because it makes the game more strategically, and you need to think, okay, what does that mean for my game?
And Hawk, you got anything else to add about that? About extortion? That's
Yeah, I'd like to add. You said you mentioned the question that extortion can make the game, not enjoyable for new players. It can also make the game not enjoyable for experienced players as well. I've noticed if you got some, some kid, threatening you with all this stuff, try to make like 5 deals. Actually, I'm pretty sure he still owes me like 3 future ore for our next game. I think that was part of some deal he made. I've learned to accept a deal, that type of play.
Was that a logical deal?
Hey man, a future ore deal I did with the light worked out for me in a practice game this weekend, so I think it worked out. But yeah,
Nice.
he still owes me like 6 future ores and future subscribers.
I think I paid all of that off.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you won anyway. So so Bino Blackhawk, who started recently streaming, he did some Catan community streams as well too. As someone who's joined the scene as a content creator, what tips do you have?
Yeah, so I spent like my last year just kind of dedicated to like how do I grow, what's the best way to grow, and I spent a lot of time researching. In terms of just like streaming on Twitch, the truth is the best way to grow on Twitch is actually get off Twitch. As weird as that sounds, because Twitch is extremely, extremely hard to discover and grow. And I think the best way to get off Twitch is what I mean by that is creating a YouTube channel. Although it's a lot more work and commitment, that's just how you just branch out to a much, much bigger audience. It's just how you have way, way, way more reach. For example, like there's this new guy on YouTube, Hakuna Matata, and he gets like around like several thousand views per video, and that's a lot bigger of a reach compared to a Twitch stream that only gets like 20 views. Although it is a lot more intimate with the Twitch streams, and it's a lot less work. I think just putting in the work for a YouTube video, or maybe just doing some highlights, really, really lets you grow for a bunch of reach. So my number 1 tips for the Twitch streamers are make a YouTube channel and get off Twitch. If that makes sense. It still streams Twitch, but your goal is to try to branch out and bring people to your Twitch by having non-Twitch content, if that makes sense.
Yes, totally agree. Like I'm mostly only streaming on Twitch, and I right now I don't want to grow too much, but if you want to grow and you say I don't have time for YouTube for some reason, then you still have a chance to get like more than 2 viewers. So what you can do is go to the Catan servers. Before our panel, we had like 3 people talk about the Catan servers. Go in there, play with the people, stream the games in there, tell them, okay, I'm streaming, because that means, okay, these people in these servers will watch. These people are the people who will watch at least competitive Catan games. And with that, you still get a small community. You need to connect yourself. Maybe even ask Delighted or someone else on this panel here to work with you together, because that also, you get that kind of maybe their community a bit. Like working together, especially like in a small environment like Catan still is right now, is great, I think.
Yeah, and as someone who doesn't produce my own stuff, I'd agree with the comment on YouTube. When I was back when I was kind of learning, I would never think of like going on Twitch and typing in Catan, but you'd go on like YouTube, something like that. So I think that's definitely probably the way to go to get reach more people, and then there's TikTok or Tic Tac or whatever it's called. All the kids are doing these days. So don't know if that's an option.
There's also OnlyFans, like someone in chat mentioned.
God, that's not.
Tic Tac. That's how you know you're old.
Tic Tac.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing OnlyFans stuff here too. So, regular viewer has a question: is it easier to play online tournaments or live tournaments?
Personally, for me, so it depends where you really put a lot of your time into. So I put a lot of my time into online games. So it's like I'd say around like 80% of my games are online. So personally, I perform a lot better online because I'm just used to tracking a lot better online, stuff like that. But I still think a lot of the principles of online still apply to live and vice versa, obviously. But personally, for me, it's online because it's wherever you play the majority or bulk of your games.
Yeah, so I'm not a real life player. I played in my life like 2 real life games with my grandma a long time ago, and now I went to like 2 board game meetups to play like 2 or 3 games. So I think getting a game going is way easier online, of course, and also getting a really competitive game, at least right now, is easier online because there are so many great servers where you can meet these players and say, okay, I want to play against you. Do you play with me? Or you just join a tournament. But I also think like knowing other games, playing offline is different, and playing offline can be maybe even more fun because you meet people. Like I said, you can meet friends. Look at these 2 guys in here. They became friends because they met at a real life tournament. So I think I would say after it's more easy to go to offline tournaments, I would just do both. I think I would still play my bulk online, but go to a tournament every 2 months or something to have fun.
Yeah, I really want to talk about that. So I'm pretty young. I'm only 21, and some of the most amazing experiences I've had is just meeting everyone at these tournaments. I mean, I'm flying from Texas, and people are flying from Florida. People fly all over or come from all over the place just for this one little board game tournament, and you meet super passionate people. And it's been it's an amazing perspective change to talk to people who are a lot older than me, or just like who have just different life perspectives. Because after the Catan game, after you start drinking with them or just doing whatever with them, it's just great to just have a chat and sit down and really get to know them because they come from literally all over the world for some of these Catan tournaments, and that's just amazing. Especially as a young person, I don't get to kind of see this every single day, and it's been amazing for the people that I meet.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Like, I'm hoping to meet Hawkeye and shit one time, but it's just crazy to see like so many like online, just like so much of the online community, meet them in person, be able to get to know too. So that's a crazy part too. And Hawkeye, do you think you play better online or you play better live?
I think definitely live, especially since kind of the online tournaments have exploded. I mean, all the people playing these online tournaments, they're all familiar with all this content we're talking about, so they're familiar with all the good strategies. If they're not good players when they started playing online, like a lot of them became good players just by learning from all these content creators. Where playing these games in person, some of them might be familiar with some of this YouTube stuff, but a lot of them they just casually play with their friends, so they aren't aware of some of these strategies that Delight has taught everyone. Actually, so I calculated my like win rate for the 4-person in-person tournament games. It was like over 75%. It was like 13 out of 17, which playing at like the online tournaments, it's like obviously nowhere near like 75%. That's just like a ridiculous amount. But because I mean, Vamos, you talked about playing in person, some of the people aren't as good, and it's just that's just because they're more casual players. I mean, it's just they're more casual. They just play the game for fun. Whereas online, you think, a lot of the people are more competitive. They're more into the strategy and stuff. So I think it's just like a different type of player, and that not all of them are as familiar with everything. So I think playing at least for me, playing in person has been I guess easier.
I can see that.
Yeah, what Hawkeye is referencing is that someone placed a 6 sheep on the sheep board, just 6 sheep.
Oh yes. And I heard there was a guy who hold a route building.
And
But
mono,
like
too.
that would,
And mono.
that would never happen. That would never happen online. I mean,
That would never
if
happen.
you just need to like place or use a road building to take road, prevent someone from winning. You think like any person online would be like smart enough to do that?
Yeah, but I think that's totally fair. If you play online, of course, it also differs. You can play in one of the servers, and the games are pretty competitive. But you can then go to like automatic matches on Colonist, just play against someone randomly, and then maybe not everyone knows the strategy. So it also depends on who you're playing a lot, in my opinion. So yeah.
I'll give my perspective. I think in-person tournaments might be easier because you might deal with less tougher competition prelims, but I think playing with more experienced players, it's tougher in person than online because you could track easier online. Especially in Colonist, you could look at the question marks too, so that you could see what easier to mono. Look up the chat that part, so you can easier to track. But I think it's with more experienced players, it's tougher online. In general, is more. I think general is a little bit easier in person too. So let's move on to the next question. What could be done for colonists in general to maintain that audience that might have blown up over quarantine? Not go back to more. How can that be stale? That's coming from Mike, and also actually from another question. Like, do you think it might flatten out a bit, or is it still really growing?
So I think that I carry a little bit of a burden or a lot of pressure on this as a content creator, since I think that I think my success has a strong correlation with Colonist's success because I attract a pretty big audience if they're going to watch like Colonist on my channel, then probably right. So I think that whatever I really think like focusing on content creators and having them basically be free advertising it's very, very nice. So I think like one of the ways to keep that momentum up is to have and host events and be able to have it very done super well. So like the Settler series, I wish that was just I wish that I put more emphasis into growing that, pushing that out, since those are amazing series. But if Colonist hosted like a $1,000 tournament, I'd love to stream that, put it on my channel. Unfortunately, I didn't play in that. But stuff like that would really make it pop, really make it grow. And I think that's events and easy content creation is really how you, really do really make the game grow and keep it up. Because if you look at chess, the chess boom, if you actually really study it, it was a lot of content creators carried it, and also a lot the content creators carried they grow the game. And I think that's very, very important.
I think you also added Queen's Gambit too as well. So that's a big thing.
Okay.
So.
I mean, if you get a Netflix series on Catan, of course it will grow.
If you actually look at the chess boom, it was because of Queen's Gambit, those content creators, those Twitch, it was like Twitch Pog champs, and it's like just a bunch of streamers starting to target the more casual, easy audience to casually watch, and those 5 factors just boom, and now it's at the very top of Twitch, very successful now.
Yes, I totally agree. Like especially tournaments. If Colonist, like I said, is promoting some of the streamers, is promoting tournament. They had the one big Seafarers tournament. Do more stuff like that. If maybe some people from the community, like we did with the Settler series, come up with ideas to host tournaments, big tournaments, then work together with some of the content creators. You heard Delighted is always happy to help people grow, or even like to help Catan grow on a whole. I think that's the thing we need to do. Like more content creators and more ideas is really important.
Yeah, we need to create a Netflix series where Hawkeye is like taking pills and imagining taking 5-for-1 deals from Delight or something like that. Or
I would watch that for sure.
Yeah, I will. Or maybe a boxing match between Delighted and Stevie Buddha.
Oh no, it's here. Oh man, everyone, great storylines. This is great too.
Yes, great storylines.
Oh my god. Oh, this is great. Dylan, this is actually a personal question for you. So someone's asking, do you know Mandarin? If you can make
So basically, the truth is, I'm pretty whitewashed. Yes, I can speak around Chinese around like a 2nd grader level. So yes,
gotcha.
But I was not a great kid when I grew up. I got kicked out of my Chinese school, but that's a story for another.
All right, let's get 2 more questions. I got asked this question. This is from Crate. I think you know who this is aimed towards. So, is Dylan Fine green that 912 was the only solution? In reference to that vid?
God. No, God.
My thoughts on that is all I said. I'm just gonna state facts. I thought I made an 18-minute objective video about my thoughts on why certain mistakes were mistakes. That's all I said.
In my opinion, 912 was great for the Catan community because 912 is a meme that is used all over Catan.
Yeah, it is.
In
It's great.
almost every server. As a player choice in a World Final, I'm not sure.
Hey, real quick, you got a logo out of it, so I think you should be happy. So, last question before we wrap this up, guys. I really appreciate it. So, how are you guys preparing for big tournaments? I know Dylan and Matt. Now you got the national championships coming up. Shen, you always prep for online tournaments. How are you guys prepping for that?
That's a great question. Personally, I'm just going to start really grinding at the games. I'm going to really start trying to talk to a lot more people and studying together. Because the truth is, I would never, ever, ever would have gotten as far as I did without meeting all the amazing players. Because it's about whenever you meet amazing players, they're just able to give you so much perspective that I never, ever would have thought of. So to me, I'm going to be studying. I'm going to be streaming a lot of my games. I'm going to be doing a lot of off-stream analysis, so stuff like that. So just volume, and I think post-game analysis and just talking with other people are the three main ways I study personally.
I can just agree with that. I think playing games is really important because I play right now the Premier League of King of Catan. It's a tournament where you try to have competitive games, and you just see if you're not playing any games and just play this one game a week, even if you're good at this game, you just are not on top of your game. So you need to play, and then analyze the games, meet some people, play with the players you think are pretty good, talk with them about the game, and learn about that. Shout outs to a lot of great players who helped me at least not suck totally at Catan. 2 of them are in here.
Of course.
3.
I have to say bye now because I have to go catch my flight because I'm kind of in the middle of an airport. So
I know.
Goodbye.
But yeah,
Goodbye.
I'm gonna go ahead and
take care, Dylan, and
all
Hawkeye.
right, thank you guys.
Take care, Dylan.
Right, bye-bye.
And Hawkeye, we'll finish it off with you. How are you preparing for these big tournaments?
So I've kind of just been playing a lot of auto matches and stuff. So back to when I qualified for nationals the first time, I mean that's all I could really do was play auto matches, and then I met a lot of these good players in these communities and stuff. I really learned a lot from playing these games with good players. But now lately I've just been playing a lot of auto matches because it's so much easier to just play a lot of games and get that experience. And I think it's definitely important that I try to think things through and think about different scenarios so you can kind of learn. After thousands of games, like I'm still trying to learn things and think about what's working, what doesn't, and when you lose, try to think about. I mean, because it's Catan, dice happen, so it's important to think about.
Yes.
What was this a dice thing, and you don't want to blame yourself for that, but you also don't want to just say, oh yeah, I lost because of the dice, and you want to think about things you could do better as well. So I think it's important to think about all that and balance things. But I've just been playing as many games as I can. Obviously, there's no table talk aspect in auto matches, but I think it's really helped me with my decision making. You're not trying to influence people or you get influenced. You just what's the best decision that I can make? What are the best trades I can make? Things like that. So it really helps me, getting a lot of volume in and thinking about a lot of scenarios.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Just getting a lot of reps too. I think it's either a lot of online reps, which would build up your base too, but also that's how I prep for the tournament too as well. So it's also managing. I think even though you think play these high quality matches all the time, random matches are really how you prepare for people who are not as competitive.
Yes.
Who are not as competitive as you and are just there just for fun. So that's how you kind of deal with those people because bad placements could really screw up your game too. So.
Yes, I think you need to prepare for everything. And one thing I want to mention, because I think the Catan community is really nice. So I see some people discussing it here. How do I play tournaments? How can I win? Am I good enough to play tournament? If you see any of us in the Discord, I think any of us who was on here today, just send us a question. You can make a screenshot, send us, okay, what would you have done? Do you think I did good? No one is like angry at you if you ask us, because we all want to help.
Yep. You send me a DM at ValsCon17_gaming, Instagram and Twitch and Discord too. So, well, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you got a lot of insight about streaming, and also it kind of turned to like a more competitive, like how you could get it to more competitive on it too. So, thank you, Hawkeye. Thank you, Shin, so much for joining. Thank you, Delay, as well too. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank
No
you.
problem. All right, all right, that's it. We're gonna do one last. Let's try this again. Let's do this as a little beta test here. We're working on the fly here, guys. About this. So let's see if this actually works. So let's type in let me type in we for noobs again. We're doing this in the fly, guys. See, and this is actually work. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should do the Catan community raffle generation. This is not worked out. Well, let's see. All right, let's see. Let's do something different. Let's actually, because it seems like this is not working out for me. Let's do a question real quick. Let's do a question. Let's do that. Real quick. First person to answer is in the chat is going to win an expansion giveaway. So first person to chat is going to give an expansion giveaway. So here is the question. Let's see. How many, so with the resources, the wood, brick, sheep, or wheat, how many of those are in the resource deck? How many of those are in the resource deck? So for each wood or sheep, how many wood cards are in the resource deck? And looks like Albino got it. Albino Blackhawk got it. So you're the winner of a Collins expansion. Congrats, Albino. Appreciate it. We had to do that in the fly, guys. Sorry, my giveaway thing didn't work out. But that's it for Colonist Con. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I hope you learned so much about just the Colonist team, all the different communities, and even just YouTube, how much effort goes into too. So I had a lot of fun too. So I'll be going back, trying to qualify for nationals and trying to grind out in the Colonist scene too. But hey guys, hope you guys had so much fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it all too. Guys, play more Colonists. Just play as much as you can. Get the Season Nights expansion. Get the Seafarers expansion. Have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, play more Colonists, guys. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.